After NYFW, Jungkook's name became more global. Jimin actually did this for him after his presence at New York Fashion Week, NYFW 2025. Jungkook's name is increasingly global. With her status as a global fashion icon as well as a top musician, the international media spotlight is full on her. From top fashion magazines, music portals to mainstream media, almost all wrote about Jungkook's performance, calling it the pinnacle of charisma and world class. She not only performs as a singer, but also as a representation of Korean culture that has broken through boundaries. But behind the uproar, fans' attention was focused on one figure who was always next to Jungkook, either directly or invisibly: Jimin. Instead of feeling rivaled by such a big spotlight on Jungkook, Jimin actually did something that made the ARMY moved. Shortly after Jungkook returned from NYFW, Jimin secretly prepared a small surprise for him. According to several staffers close to the two, Jimin knew full well that while Jungkook was confident on the international stage, there was a side of him that felt tired and needed a warm hug after a busy schedule in America. Therefore, Jimin welcomed Jungkook's return with a simple but meaningful atmosphere, cooking Jungkook's favorite food, preparing a comfortable room, and even stick a small note with encouraging words like, "You did well, I'm proud of you." For ARMY, Jimin's action is very touching because it shows that he is not trying to compete with Jungkook's popularity, but rather become a place of return full of sincerity. As the world celebrates Jungkook as a global superstar, Jimin chooses to treat him as a brother, friend, and family man. The reaction of fans was busy talking about this on social media. Many wrote that behind a bright Jungkook in the international world, there is Jimin who always makes sure he doesn't lose his human side. Some say that this moment is a clear proof of how Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is not just a coworker, but a deeper bond than that. Korean media even highlighted Jimin's attitude as a form of concern that is rarely seen in the entertainment industry. They wrote that Jimin's presence became an anchor for Jungkook, someone who made sure that despite his increasingly global name, he still felt loved and accepted for who he was. In fact, Jimin reportedly also turned down several big event invitations so that he could accompany Jungkook after returning from NYFW. For Jimin, giving Jungkook emotional support is more important than the camera spotlight. This is what makes ARMY even more convinced that BTS's warmth is not only on stage, but also in their real lives. The news of what Jimin did after Jungkook returned from New York Fashion Week, NYFW, is apparently only half the story. Another part that made the ARMY even more moved was how Jungkook responded to Jimin's attitude. After arriving back in Korea, Jungkook did look exhausted. His face had looked serious at the airport, although he still greeted ARMY with a small smile. Many consider that he is storing physical and mental fatigue, considering that his schedule in America is so busy, performing on stage, attending fashion shows, interacting with world fashion figures. To have to maintain the image as an ambassador of K-pop culture in the eyes of the international public. All that is certainly not a small burden. When Jungkook finally got to where Jimin was waiting for him, the atmosphere completely changed. According to the news from the staff, as soon as he saw the food Jimin had prepared and read the attentive little note, Jungkook's expression immediately softened. He reportedly stared at Jimin for a long time, as if he couldn't believe that after all the glamour of the world, there was someone who cared about him in such a simple but sincere way. Jungkook's first reaction was to hug Jimin tightly without saying a word. ARMY, who heard the story through the gossip fanbase, wrote that the moment felt like a real drama scene, which illustrates how strong the bond between the two is. Jungkook himself reportedly said quietly, "Hyung, I really need this." "Thank you." Jungkook's response made many people realize that behind his status as a world star, he is still an ordinary human being who needs a safe place. Jimin was present as that figure, not with luxury, but with genuine affection. After that, Jungkook looked more relaxed. He ate with gusto, even a little joke with Jimin. Sources said Jungkook's laughter at the moment sounded much more natural than when he attended major events. It was as if only in Jimin's presence could he truly release all the pressure. This moment also became the subject of heated discussion among the army. Many wrote on social media that Jimin is home to Jungkook, while others added that their togetherness is a real testament to how BTS sustains each other, even when they are undergoing individual busyness. Some fans also speculated that Jimin's emotional support might have a big impact on Jungkook's future projects. With Jimin, Jungkook will always have a strong foundation to continue to dare to go further in the international world. Now, the question for the army is whether they will share this warm moment with the public through vlogs, official content, or just keep it as a personal memory between the two of them. What is clear, this story further reinforces the belief of fans that behind BTS's huge success on the global stage, there is a sincere and unshakable brotherly relationship. International media apparently did not stay silent to see the dynamics between Jungkook and Jimin after the New York Fashion Week, NYFW. If earlier more attention was drawn to Jungkook's charm as a global icon of Calvin Klein, this time the spotlight extends towards Jimin. Several major fashion media outlets wrote that one of the keys to Jungkook's poise and appeal on the international stage is that he has a strong support system. Jimin's name often appears as a figure who not only supports from behind the scenes, but also gives an emotional touch that makes Jungkook appear more confident. An article in one Korean fashion magazine even wrote, Jungkook's success at NYFW cannot be separated from the positive atmosphere he gets from his colleagues, especially Jimin, who is known for being empathetic and caring. That support makes Jungkook able to present himself to the maximum in the eyes of the world. Not only that, several international portals have linked Jimin's presence, although not physically at NYFW, to a larger narrative of friendship and brotherhood within the BTS group. They consider that this story can be an added value in building a more humanist global brand image, because it shows that behind the glamour of the world of fashion and music, there is a real emotional bond. On the other hand, ARMY on social media began creating various hashtags linking Jimin to Jungkook's NYFW moment. Hashtags such as hashtag Jimin supports Jungkook and hashtag JungkookNYFW became trending topics on Twitter, X, with thousands of fans posting their theories and reactions. Many argue that although Jimin was not present in person on the New York stage, his presence was still felt through small messages, a warm greeting, and a story about how he welcomed Jungkook upon his arrival in Korea. Interestingly, some Western media outlets even picked up this story in a wider context. They highlighted how BTS's solidarity can be a symbol of togetherness in an entertainment industry that is often full of competition. A journalist wrote, BTS not only inspires through music, but also through their real emotional bond. The relationship between Jungkook and Jimin is proof that togetherness can be the foundation of global success. Among fans, many said that the story of Jimin's support for Jungkook gave hope for more moments of emotional togetherness to be shared in the future, maybe through BTS Festa content or HYB exclusive documentation. For ARMY, what happened after NYFW wasn't just about fashion or a grand stage, it was about how the two BTS members showed their human side. And that's what makes this story so evocative, even for international media.